I'd call the March meeting of the Caryville Mayor and Board of Aldermen to order. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Hickler.
Here.
Mr. Eric Jones.
Here.
Mr. Eric Smith.
Here.
Ms. Beth Lawson. Here. Mr. Dwayne Gibson.
Here.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson.
Here.
Mayor Stixberry.
Here, we do have a quorum. Mr. Raines, you say opening prayer for us, please, sir. Mr. Esco.
Well, I'd be happy to. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we gather at this time, Lord, in your presence. We ask, Lord, that you give us a peaceful meeting, knowledgeable meeting, in the direction that you'd have us to go. We pray for our council, our city, that we love so much. We love our family, a place that we've chosen to live. We just ask you, Lord, again, to bless us, and thank you for your many blessings. Forgive us of our sins. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Esco.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, a few minutes to look over the February minutes. Everybody's had a chance to look at them. Let me know. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? Heard a motion to approve?
Make the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Have a second? Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Okay. All right, citizens input. Any citizens wants to speak? Anyone? Okay. All right. Communication from the mayor. I'll reserve the right to comment when we do the financial report on one part of it. Also, had some calls. I think David took some calls, and they took some calls here at City Hall about the red light at Elkins Road not performing correctly. Talked to Frank Walls, CJUC. They did cut that. They're the culprits that cut that sensor. I talked to Frank this afternoon. They talked to the electrical people. They said they could hopefully be here within the next 10 days, and CJUC is going to cover all the costs. They're addressed. They're about the only ones I think that works on But he talked to them and said they'd be here. They said he gave them a 10-day time frame. He said they try their best to come early since it is going into the school. Okay. Financial report.
For February 2018, in our general fund account, we have $585,926. Reserve for rainy day fund, $45,000. Special fire protection fees, $126,021.67. Our special fire protection fees spent is $55,781.13, leaving a balance of $70,240.54. And our adjusted general fund balance is $470,685.46. In our State Street Aid Fund, we have $57,987.60. In our Industrial Fund, we have $868.89. In our Drug Fund, we have $15,048.62. So our revenues for the month of February 2018 is $142,692.20. Our expenditures were $96,233.12, which leaves us with a good difference of $46,459.08.
Okay, now where I said I'd reserve my comments, the reason we had such a high revenue number this month is due to the hard work of Teresa and Laura, the other lady works here, and Chief Hatmaker. There were some businesses that were identified that wasn't, their tax money was not going, it wasn't going to the county, it coming to Caryville. So through their work of going out and making sure that those businesses were inside the city, the state was contacted and confirmed it, and now those monies are coming to the city, which should be about $60,000 extra a year for us. So like I said, I appreciate Teresa's work and Laura's work, and Eddie done a lot of leg work with them, taking them out and showing them places. Like I said, I appreciate them and they're all and their good work. So we should be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 60%, 60 in the low 60s, and that's where we are. But right now the city is basically probably in the best financial shape we've been in a long time. Okay, do I hear a motion we approve the financial report?
Make a motion to approve the financial report as it reads. I'll second.
Discussion?
One thing, Mayor, on those businesses, did you get all of those businesses after we discussed?
No, we're still working.
Still working. We're still working.
There's still potentially more coming in.
There's still more out there. I'm still researching.
There's still a few more out there they're working on. Still in progress. Okay. Any more discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Peakley?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Dwayne Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. Reports from council members. Lawson?
General Street Sanitation Department monthly report. We had picked up 49 tons of garbage, 3 tons of recycling, 7 tons of brush. And throughout the city, we picked up brush, patched holes on the streets, loaded out a tile along Christopher Lane Loop Road, and put in a 100-foot tile on Lake Lane, put in a 10-foot tile on Russell Lane, cleaned all the ditches on the Overlook Lane and Mountain Road. One other thing, but I need to add something to the agenda.
Okay.
This would be a good time to do it.
Yes.
I talked with Kathy, we discussed about maybe getting Lisa and Tessa city phones.
Okay. You can add that. We can add that to be number 8. That's what you want to do?
I'd like to, yes.
Okay, is that a form of motion?
It is, I'm making a motion that we have,
I'll second it.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, be number 8.
that's all I have.
All right. Police department?
Yes, Town of Caryville Police Department monthly report for February. We had, we patrolled 8,759 miles. We had 294 complaints. We had 22 accidents. We had 25 arrests. There was 65 citations wrote. And we had 9 drug arrests, which is real good for the month of February. And that's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Beth, recreation?
Well, with recreation, I do know that the ball is fixing to start, baseball, over at Asbury. So there'll be more people over there. The lights will be on later in the evenings and stuff. I'm not even sure how many teams we ended up with this year, but there's a lot. So if anybody says, calls and complains that the lights are on at Asbury, they will be. I don't know how long, until what time, because, practices and stuff. But it's ball season.
Yeah, it is. It's like every year there's more and more and more, which that's good. Patrick's going to address something about that here later.
Well, David came and seen me about, wanting to turn the lights. Do you know about that? Can you tell me a little bit about that, David?
Jerry Faust is wanting to turn the lights on the field that he shortened more into the field, and there's a lot of bulbs out.
Yes, I know Wade spoke with LaFollette Utilities about the bulbs, and the parts that we're needing are really expensive because they don't make them anymore. And so, but I think the Little League is going to pay for, some of the lights, I think, is how I understood it.
Okay.
I wonder how hard it would be to convert those to LED bulbs.
And they may end up having to do that.
Because from an energy efficiency standpoint, I mean, we've already discussed that with street lights. We know they're a better light.
Mm-hmm.
And Bell County, Kentucky's football stadium is all LED. And we were up there for a ball game, Campbell County, a couple of years ago, and it was like daylight.
And we
It's
may
just
have
a
to check
better
about
light.
that. But there's a lot out, and so they'll have to replace them, and then will LaFollette Utilities be the one that have to move those? You guys?
We'll have to get a contractor to do it.
Oh, yeah. So they'll need to be done, because you're probably losing so much lighting.
Well, David asked me, do you want to go ahead and have that done now?
Yeah, it needs to be done.
They need to be fixed for ball season.
Because we'll start the first week of April.
Why get companies to do that?
Does Copeland's usually do that, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. If those lights have been there a long time, if you can't find parts for them anymore, we may have to start, the ones that's out, if at all possible, may have to those fixtures, change those fixtures over to LED, and just as they go out, just change them a little at a time, if that's possible.
Yeah, we'll have to get with Jerry and see what they were talking about. I just, like I said, heard him talking about it and heard him talking to somebody at LaFollette Utilities about it.
As far as changing over LEDs, I would wait till next year, because that's going to be a pretty good process.
Yeah, and we're already there.
Yeah.
It has to be done before the season starts.
That's true. Well, if we can try to get through as much as we can this year, then next year we'll try to get them switched over, because like I said, they're old.
In the off season. So that's all I have for
All right.
recreation.
Library?
Okay, I have, there was 979 items checked out, 882 checked in, 388 e-books checked out. They added 20 new patrons. Let's see, we added 13 items and deleted 2, 384 computer users. They have 3 children's programs with 15 children in attendance, and the total library was 451 attendance.
And that's in bad weather.
Yeah.
Still amazing. Mr. Smith, fire department.
The fire department last month had 1 vehicle fire, 5 vehicle accidents, and 4 brush fires. For a total of 10 calls for the entire month. I just want to kind of keep everybody, even though it's as wet as it's been, we've still been having brush fires kind of the top layer, but if you're doing any burning or anything, just kind of keep everybody vigilant, watch what they got. That's about all I've got.
Are they giving permits out
We
there?
have a permit till May.
May 15th is the deadline on permits for burning. Forestry, state's actually won't take care of those.
All right, thank you, sir. Patrick, could you give us a little update on the grant policer?
Okay, we have, since the last time we met, as you know, we had to do 2 civic presentations and a public meeting. We just finished the public meeting here tonight. Last Monday, I met with the Friends of Cove Lake, the civic organization, and the Monday before that, I met with the Campbell County Lions Club. We had good attendance in all of them. That portion of the process is now complete. And so we're ready to move on to whatever the next portion of the application process is with the Parks and Recs Fund grants. And also, and I kind of jumped the gun and took mine early. Our tablets are here.
Okay.
We're still in the process of moving everything over, but what makes these so good, if you've used a computer and you've used Windows, this isn't like a tablet operating system like an iOS. This works just like Windows. And you've got the keyboard if you're not good with a touch screen, and it simply detaches. And we've got the paperwork for everybody to take theirs tonight. And hopefully next month, this stuff's a thing of the past, and we can start saving some money on paper.
Okay. All right, thank you, Patrick. All right, your motion to approve all reports as presented.
Motion.
Thanks.
Discussion? Call the roll, please. I mean, sorry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You opposed? All right. Okay. Any old business? Okay. New business. All right. Number 1, second reading ordinance on dwelling units, daycares, detached garages, carports, and zoning map of Caryville. That we passed on first reading on this last month. This is just the second reading, which will make it official. Do I hear a motion that we pass the 3 amendments to the zoning ordinance of the town of Caryville?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones? Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Glenn Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. All right, I'm sorry, I have messed up. Cindy, I'm sorry, I should have had you earlier.
Okay.
Before we go any farther, Cindy Reynolds with the tourism would like to make a presentation to us. I'm sorry I should have had her up front, but I didn't. So she can do that now, and then she can, I'm sure she needs to be somewhere else besides here tonight, so.
Okay, my name is Cindy Reynolds, and I'm with the Campbell County Chamber of Commerce, and I've got some goodies here for you so you can follow along with me. I tend to talk pretty fast. I came to the Caryville meeting tonight because you are the holder of my hotels. And when I say my hotels, it's the tourism, and I just want to say, first of all, thank you, and give you a little idea of what the city of Caryville contributes to tourism. So, I know all of you have seen this in the front. Okay, everybody's seen this out front. It's the dining guide that has the list of all the restaurants that are in the county. If you'll turn on the back, there's a listing of all the hotels that are here in Caryville. This is the email that goes out to anyone that's interested in Campbell County from my office. We send this out to anyone that wants to vacation here or move here or anything. So all these, they click on them and are able to go there and stay. Okay. You don't have this, it's out in the front, Mr. Wilson. This one right here? Okay. This, we're about at 10,000 copies that have gone out from these. This is at the Welcome Center here, the Welcome Center in South, on I-75 southbound. So we're pretty proud of that one. This is getting ready to go into its second printing. So that's in the front here. I don't have any more of those because we've given them all out. This is your Tennessee Vacation Guide. There is an advertisement in this Tennessee Vacation Guide for the ATV resorts. And if you've ever taken a little ride up to your exit on 141, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say there's ATVs in Caryville. They're everywhere. And we're so happy that they are because they spend money in the city of Caryville. So you'll have your notice there. Fishing guides. Told you I came prepared, bro. There's hooks. Fishing hooks, fishing guides, we got it all. The Tennessee Fishing Guides, of course, the Chamber of Commerce does have an advertisement in online. When they click to stay, comes to the city of Caryville. Okay? North Lake Guides, same thing. This is online. This comes from a company. The company that is used with the North Lake Guides is Scott Dickman. He's originally from Cincinnati, but he does live here in the summertime. So Caryville's also represented in there with the hotels. And we're part of the 9 Lakes region. I brought this one because we got the cover. Campbell County got the cover on this brochure, and that's very unusual. We don't normally get the cover on a regional brochure. This is on our waters, and if anyone knows Eli Fields, he's a junior, I think, or a freshman. Wait a minute. Is he a junior? He's a junior at Campbell County High School, so he's surfing on the cover of 9 Lakes. All right. Y'all have any extras you can give them to them. As far as money goes, this is what we're looking at. In 2016, as done by the Economic Impact of the state of Tennessee, U.S. Census Bureau did this study for us. We ranked 27 out of the 97 counties on tourism, bringing in about $57 million a year. This was in 2016. In 2017, I hope to go a little above 58 million, and I think we can do that. All of these figures here are with this study. It is online. You can go there. But the most important figure is if the tourists weren't coming and spending as much money as they do with us on the water and on our mountains, they're saving us about $402.63 in taxes annually. So we're very, very thankful as far as that goes, or at least my household is thankful that we don't have to pay those taxes. This is including state and local taxes, and you've got the breakdown right there of that. 490 jobs, that's up 50 jobs from 2015, and it will be increased for 2017. We don't get the numbers for the past year until we head into the next one because of the Census Bureau. That's the way they do their work. I'm sure y'all know that. The first one, I gave this packet to the Joint Economic Community Development Board, and I brought with me the economic impact of just 3 things that I have done in the past 2 years, meaning the Chamber of Commerce has promoted it. Brandon Carr, who is a Caryville citizen, or was a Caryville citizen, he's a Caryville boy, how's that? He puts on a very, very good professional college and high school bass tournament in December every year. He invites several colleges, several universities, and several high schools. On the back of that, you can see how many came. 15 colleges were represented and 17 high schools. So as far as economic impact goes, that Caryville boy brought in $115,000 for us, and we're very thankful. He plans on doing that every year just to give back to his community. So I thought you would like to know that. Morristown Marine is the next one. These are adults that catch the fish. This goes out of the county park up at Lone Young. We call it White Bridge. You know where that is. Last year there was 208 boats that came. This year I'm hoping to have 250. Mr. Stooksbury thinks I'll have
300.
300 because it's going to be on March the 31st. And that's when the fish like to bite. So he's calling 250 on that one. Or you're calling 300 and I'm calling 250. So we'll decide. The last page on that one, you can see that my investment, or the Chamber of Commerce investment in that, is $10,000. It's called a site fee with bass fishing tournaments. We pay that, and using the multiplier, they're bringing in $174,087 back into the county. Now, what's interesting for the city of Caryville is if you will look at the total night rentals on those, there's somebody standing when they weigh their fish and they're coming off the stage, or there's a person standing there with a clipboard asking where they stayed, where they ate, how much money they spent on bait. So these are true, these are hard numbers in this report. This is not someone just guessing about it. But if you'll look, the Red Reef Inn is the only one that's not in the city of Caryville. Okay? And the state park at the dam. Pretty excited about that. Like that, Patrick? That's
We had over 100 people stay in Caryville.
Yes, you did. 2 nights in Caryville.
Wow.
Another thing, the Comfort Inn off the last Caryville exit up there is boasting that they have ATVers full force taking up the whole hotel all season long. So they're very pleased about the travelers that are coming in and riding in our mountains, and I am too. So, the next one down is arts and economic prosperity. This is what's going to lean into things like the Louie Bluey Festival at the park, the Big Creek Fall ATV Festival in downtown La Follette, those type of things that are dealing with our culture and with the arts community, Postmark La Follette, those things. They surveyed 250 people last year in the fiscal year 2015 and found that without the cost of admission, each person that visited here for an arts and culture event spent about $30. So we're pretty impressed with that too. Now, here's my sole reason for being here. When somebody asks what kind of industry we have in Campbell County, tourism. Tourism has an economic impact. And that's what I just wanted you to know what the figures were. Those are true figures, and just wanted you to know what tourism does bring in. Patrick has spent the time doing the public meetings with your parks and recreation and doing the updates for that. The 10-year plan on that's phenomenal. And one of the reasons is the Chamber is a member of the National Association of Sports Commissions. Right now, the only thing I have to offer is one soccer field, because it's regulation size. Okay, I have one 18-hole golf course, and I have basketball gyms. If I have enough baseball fields, we can get into sports tourism at this point, and not just outdoor tourism or adventure tourism, as they call it. So I'm all about Caryville and Asbury Park expanding as much as possible and bringing that in. So, you have any questions?
I don't. I actually want to push some of that credit on Beth, because she and Teresa have both have been instrumental in the process too. I'm just speaking.
I would like to say something.
Sure.
I don't know if you were aware or not, but this past weekend and then 2 weekends before that, Doug Boshears held a basketball
Yes.
tournament. There was 75 teams in that tournament. They were, I don't know if y'all had was out over the weekends trying to go get something to eat or go to the store. There were so many basketball teams in this town. My son plays, is the reason I know. And I mean, in our hotels down here were full.
Full.
Because we play teams, the first one was called Border Wars, so a lot of the teams were from Kentucky. But there was teams that was here from Sevierville, North Georgia, and everywhere up here playing ball 2 weeks ago, and then this past weekend
too.
also.
Yes.
I mean, he used every gym except for down like on Caryville. I know we used Jacksboro, La Follette, the West End, the high school, yeah, everywhere. I mean, so I know it had a big impact.
It had a huge impact
On our area.
And the hotels in Caryville are very, very good about giving me numbers, so they'll push numbers back out to me on what happened. They also call me and say what's going on the next couple of weekends, what do we need to prepare for, you know, that.
I said I wish somebody would, kind of, like, we went to Charlie's, which of course, anytime you go to Charlie's, it's busy. But I said, I wish that somebody that was promoting something like that on a weekend would kind of give the restaurants, because like the weekend before that, I think we was at like Zaxby's or whatever, and they were busy too, and sometimes they kind of look understaffed when they're not expecting something like that. So I said that was the biggest thing. We were sitting there talking while we were eating, and I said I wish if the people that were organizing these things would kind of give it, out into the public.
What I do is we have a Chamber of Commerce email distribution list, so it goes out every week. On Monday, this is what's happening for the weekend.
Yeah.
But if folks don't let us know,
Right.
that part I don't know. But every Monday, that email goes out to about 600 people.
Oh, that's good.
But thank you, Beth. I mean, that's awesome. Also, one of the things that people say, well, all these people are locals. The people that fish are locals. The people that come and ride ATVs are locals. No. On these reports, there's a definition of a tourist, and it is you have to travel from 50 miles away, and you have to spend the night. That makes you a tourist. Otherwise, you're a local. So all of these numbers that I found at you are tourists. So they spent the night here.
Well, I know from experience you can, I myself, I've driven up around the 141 on weekends. And if it's a pretty weekend, it's just covered up in ATVs. If it's a nasty rainy weekend, they're still
Still
there.
covered up in
They're still
ATVs.
there.
The weather does not affect.
Weather does not affect them, it does not, so.
Okay, so ATV Festival is October the 13th this year. Louie Bluey Festival is September the 29th. Mountain Heritage Festival is Labor Day weekend.
And I don't know how much it impacts the motels. I know when I worked at Clear Lake, when the Museum of Appalachia had anything, totally campgrounds packed.
Okay.
When did you say the ATV festival?
ATV Festival is October the 13th. Louie Bluey is September the 29th. And Mountain Heritage is Labor Day.
I have a question for you, Sam. With the brochures that's advertising like the Mountain Lakes, do you have anything promoting the ATV that goes out?
We have, right now, what I would like to do through the chamber is to do a map, not unlike this one, that has the ATV roads that are available to ride on. I mean, City of Caryville has them, City of La Follette, City of Jellicoe, and the county, and state roads. There's not a map per se of that. I do have maps of the trails, but I don't have any maps of the actual roads. So that's my hope that I can get that done. I have listings, but that's, not really good to have a piece of paper on your ATV and say, oh, I can turn on this road. I would rather have a map, so I'm working with some people to see if I can get that done.
We've run into some, was it from Connecticut?
Connecticut.
That was here riding one night before we had an accident, and I talked to guys in Alabama as far south as Birmingham who's had trips planned that year. And if this was something that you all might be able to get pushed out with help from us to go a little further.
It's a strong possibility. I've sent out bid information to the person that helped me with this, and to the person that does the Norris Lake Guides, to see if they could do a map for me. And they've not gotten back with me as far as prices or anything like that. But when I do, I will come and visit that with you and see if that's something that city wants to be involved with. But the city of Caryville, on the flip side of that, the city of Caryville is a Chamber of Commerce member. So, that, first of all, that's why I'm promoting you like crazy like I can. But, you're already involved, you know, and you support the mine safety rescue competition with us too, so.
I know you went, see, Andy went to a trade show in Cincinnati. You went to Indianapolis?
I went to Indianapolis, I didn't go to Cincinnati. Indianapolis, it's a boat and outdoor show. Cincinnati has lots of representation from Campbell County as far as marinas there, so I decided that we're covered with that one. My time wasn't well spent with that. But I went with Midwest East Tennessee Tourism Council to Indianapolis. And since then, we've had kind of taken a family and put them in contact with a realtor, and they're buying out of the water. So we're going to have a placement coming down from Indianapolis. And I've got 2 vacations in June.
Like I said, tourism, a lot of people don't realize how much it does bring in, but that's a lot.
$57 million.
$57 million is a lot of money.
$57 million.
It's a lot of money.
Okay.
Okay.
So if Caryville has anything at they want the Chamber of Commerce to do for them, I am more than willing to do it. Whatever promotion needs to be done, whatever.
Can we get some of these and put up all?
Yes. Absolutely. Do you just want, which ones do you want? All of them? Okay. You want me just to leave what I've got to?
If you could.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware of the development of 141 campground.
Yes. I'm waiting on those now.
The Russians pass the camp, what?
Wait, no, just as hard as I can. Anything else?
I think that's it. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank
you
you.
so much. Sorry to get you on there sooner.
That's all right.
Okay, number 2, council to approve bid opening for the cutting of hay at the industrial park. Did we receive? Okay, we have received 1 bid, and it's the same gentleman that has cut the hay up there for several years, Jerry Faust. It's no cost to the city, Jerry just cut it so he cut it for the hay. So, right here, motion, we grant Jerry Faust the, I guess, contract or to bid to cut the hay at 141 Industrial Park.
Make the motion.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Kinley?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Dwayne Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. Number 3, council discuss pilot crosswalk. I received a call from Mr. Lane. I'm sorry, I got a phone call from the state. They said that the intersection up there at Comfort Lane and Howard Baker Highway does not warrant a quote-unquote signal at this time. But they said it could, a crosswalk would work. So I got in contact with Mr. Lane at Pilot. They have agreed to, of course they said they would, because all that would be done on paper, that they would they would have everything installed, they would do all the maintenance, everything. It wouldn't cost City of Caryville anything. But like I said, that's not in writing yet, that's perfect. We have to get all that in writing. We'll have to do a contract, we'll have to do an agreement with the state. Am I right, Kathy? We'll have to do an agreement with the state first, and then an agreement with Pilot, that they will install, maintain, and for as long as a pilot is there.
What is it?
It's
The red light?
no, crosswalk.
Crosswalk?
Crosswalks. The flashing lights, and they said they'd rather do the solar. There's no electrical installation, or solar, and they would take care of all of it at no cost to the city. So that'd be something that we'll have to, they're supposed to bring their plans to the Plan Commission. He said they probably wouldn't make it in April, probably May timeframe, when they get all their plans, which would, be to T-Dot specs. So he'll come to the Plan Commission first before it comes to this body. So I just let you know where that is. Okay, council discussed security cameras. Beth, I think was that you?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I have asked Teresa and Brian to get with some people about putting cameras inside and outside the building. Just for security more than anything. One, the girls are here by themselves in the evenings for at least an hour. So that way we have cameras, you know, that will watch who's here and who's not. Or who's coming in if something was to happen. And then on the inside, and then on the outside, I just feel we need them. You know, when the fire department's out, somebody's here to be able to, I mean, you know, we'll have the cameras to watch their trucks. We need security back there. I just think it's a good idea to put cameras in.
I agree.
And I know that the library itself is even open beyond when you all leave that. That potentially leaves one person here.
Right.
So, yeah, this is there were many days back in the day I would stay here with Robin for an extra hour just to shoot him by himself.
Yeah.
Is there any grant money out there for that?
No, there's not any grant money out there for security cameras. There's not anything out there for that, but there is another grant we're going to discuss on down. But there's no grant money. The grant, this could probably be both. There's no grant money for the security, but the ER grant for other things we'll discuss on the next item. So, plus the feeling of the council, we need to get some quotes.
So I say you need to do some quotes with some of your major players in the security systems.
Three quotes.
How much is it that we can spend without having to come back before the board?
10,000.
Oh, okay.
So I hear a motion, we get 3 quotes on security.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Dwayne Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. Number 5, council discuss loan for building improvements. Okay, I had Teresa to look around and see if there was any grants that was out there for energy efficiency of the building, which is lighting, doors, windows, things like that. There is no grants at this time, but there is a loan program through the Pathway Lending. It is through the state. It is 6 years at 2% interest. So that covers.
For how much money?
I really don't know. I had Teresa figure up the payments or what to be on 50,000, 75,000, and 100,000. I don't know what. We'll have to see what it would cost. But at 2%, it covers efficient upgrades, lighting, HVAC, cool roofs, renewable energy projects, cogeneration, which I think energy efficient windows and doors would qualify under that. We'd have to delve a little farther into that. But like I said, 6 years at 2%, that's basically free money at 2% interest. 2% interest.
We probably need new doors, because I'm sure these are the original doors.
Most everything here is original.
Yeah.
That's why all the windows, doors,
And this
lighting, everything
This
is.
building is a product of its era, and we've just become more efficient in everything since then, so it's a good move.
Anything to reduce utility costs.
Yes, at 2%, you said it was 2% financing on that?
It's
2%.
That's cheap.
So, like I said, that's
LED
the,
projects too.
yeah, it covers lighting. They can get all the inside, outside, everything switched over to LEDs. New energy efficient, and in the long run, we'll save money. We'll save money over the city will over a long term by going. But that's up to the council if we want to pursue this. And we can't. All we can do is just vote tonight to check farther on in it and see what we come up with.
I think we should, but I really think we're gonna have to sit down at one point and say, okay, this is what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
this is our priority.
We probably need to have
How-
a workshop.
We can workshop that that out.
Yeah.
We probably need to, you're right.
There's a lot of things around here that needs to be
Upgraded, true.
And then we need to prioritize.
And that's,
Like
I
you said,
mean,
there's a
before
lot
we decide
goes-
how much
yeah.
money we want to
Yeah.
borrow.
Yeah.
It's been just a couple of years since we had new flooring and stuff.
It's been 2 years.
We're still off.
Yeah, we've not done nothing in 2 years.
Like I said, anything we can do energy efficient, that's what this would cover.
I'm for it.
And especially, just like on paper, it saves us in the long run.
So,
It's actually go through with 88 also. You can kind of factor that into the doors and stuff.
they'll have to be installed ADA.
We just find 88 energy efficient doors.
Right.
That's how we do that.
There's actually some grants that we looked at that we have to maintain our ADA compliance.
Well, whenever we tried to do this a couple of years ago, and I know, it was before you come in, it was only to do a large amount of stuff, it was only just a little over $100,000, wasn't it? Right at 100, I mean, that was to do a bunch of work.
Well, like I said, since then, I'm sure things went up some. If y'all want to, let's, we can go ahead and schedule a workshop just for this issue to get some prices and see what all we need first, then we can prioritize, then we can go out and get somebody to come and look and see what, get some estimates, we sure can. So,
Right, and there's probably some things that wasn't even addressed in the others
correct.
spectrum.
So, anybody got any dates?
Mayor,
Yes, I'm sorry.
if Lloyd wanted to work with the street department, the prices on those LED lights for the ball field, they're covered in this line. That's why I just read over this. and
Okay.
They are covered on this line.
They're part of that, they could be funded. through-
Because they're energy efficient.
Okay, well, that's
We
good.
all
That-
talk about-
That might be able to
To see the cost of, that's what we need to do.
that might be two birds with one stone then.
Because if we put off those lights over there at the ball field and redo what we got that we're gonna have a hard time to get, then that's gonna be very costly, so we'll need to spend twice as much money. So, yeah, that would be good.
So like I said, maybe we can kill two birds with one stone then.
Yeah.
Good.
But it's like on this loan, it's like in 6 years, we can probably do this part now, and then the ball field maybe, I would suggest next year before the season starts. We can do that. So, when's a good time for people to come, all of us get together and look at this issue? Or would I like to have a little time to think, let Teresa coordinate that for us? Anybody got a date they want to throw out?
I'm super flexible this time of year.
Well, we need to get the ball rolling.
Any Saturday.
Saturday.
He did say Saturday, did he?
Yeah.
He did. Oh, gosh. Is Monday night good? I mean, Monday nights, is Monday nights good? Thursday nights? What nights of the week is good for?
Monday night's good for me.
Mondays are
Is
good.
Mondays good, bad? I don't know when all the little league plays, ball players on Monday nights, Tuesday. Most of them play toward the weekend though.
When is court Monday night?
On a Monday night.
Yeah, of course,
Monday.
first Monday night of the
So
month.
I'm saying that the first Monday.
Court usually lasts what? An hour?
All of them most. You know how long it lasts?
Sometimes 30 minutes,
That's
45, just
what I
depends how many.
How many
they
I
have.
can have a room full and be out an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We don't want to do, when's spring break in
April
here?
2nd through the 6th.
Oh, April 2nd? Okay, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know when spring break was. I'm not school anymore.
March or April.
Was it 26?
26th of March?
March.
26th of March, is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, 26th of March, that's good for everybody?
What time?
6 or 7? 6? 6? Okay, 6 o'clock. All right. We'll do it. All right.
Mark, yes.
March 26th. All right, number 6, council discuss approval for a recreation board. Beth, I think that was yours too.
think that's Teresa.
For our recreation, we started a recreation committee, so.
It's part of the grant
It's-
process
yeah.
for what we've already discussed. We get points for having them. Points are all important to competing for these.
And we have to have between 3 to 5 members on the board. I know Patrick, Beth, Dwayne, Jerry, Giles.
And if it don't have to be a specific resident character. I was talking to Johnny, I was just telling him about our rec plan with Coach Bruce. He said he would love to help us as part of the board if we wanted him. You know, he doesn't technically live in Caryville, he is one of our representatives on commission. He also said it wouldn't hurt his feelings if we went just straight up folks from Caryville too. But he said he was all about helping us.
And we need to get this done within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we need to schedule a meeting and make this happen.
Okay.
We probably do not need to go ahead and vote to approve putting this one together, so we can put it together and meet before that phase of the application process comes in.
That's fine. Was that the form of a motion?
I'll make a motion that we put together a recreation.
Second.
Discussion? All roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Peavy?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Dwayne Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Louis Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. Now, for those in the audience wondering why 2 weeks, why we're waiting so late, a lot of times on these grants or anything like that, they want everything done yesterday. They'll send the grant out or whatever, and they'll say, oh yeah, by the way, we want this done next week. We've had a lot of that issue over the years.
It's the nature of the beast.
It is. They want all these things done, all these things in place. Oh yeah, by the way, you got 2 weeks to do it.
Like literally, they completed the plan for us, and even before they printed the book out, they're like, you have to present it. And that's why they sent me the PowerPoint to go out in the short amount of time we had to present
That's
it.
what it is.
That's just the way it works.
Yeah, they don't give you a lot of time to do things. Okay, number 7, council discuss city right-of-ways. We have had the issue come up on some of the width of the city streets. To my understanding, there is no standard. I mean, we have a book with the widths on them, but nobody knows where those widths came from. Is that correct, David? Nobody knows where they came from. I don't know where they came
There's
from.
no signed easements.
And plus, there's no signed easements for those streets. And I'm sure that's probably just the issue, Kathy, correct me if I'm wrong, is that just an old town like we have? And the streets were, just what they are. And when it was incorporated, nobody just thought about easements for the streets. What was there was there. All these narrow streets, and like I said, there's no easements. I think that there's no easements signed by the landowners on any street that I'm aware of.
If
Now-
it's a city street maintained by the city, Tennessee has a statute that it makes it a city street without an easement being signed or a deed being signed.
Oh, it
And that's
does?
what the majority of the county and the city.
How do you
are.
determine the width of it?
Well, exactly.
That's
It's based on usage and what's historically been the road.
Some of our streets are 24 feet, some are 50 feet, some are 40 feet, some are 30 feet.
Right.
But you're saying it goes to what they always historically be
Right.
by that statute. Because you can go to different streets, like Lake Lane's not as big as
Park Road.
Park Road, yeah.
Right, Janet, as our plan commission chairman, we have a book that was put together several years ago, I'm sure, with the stated widths. But as far as who sets those widths, I don't have a clue. I don't know how those are determined.
If we're needing to do stuff on a city driveway, or city street, how far, if it looks as 24 foot, can we go 24 foot without getting a lawsuit against us?
I don't know if that book is gospel or not. I don't know.
And it's also based on what you're using it for. Like there's utility easements and those types of things. There's gentlemen.
Neighbor was having problems picking up the garbage, keeping the road clean during snows on one street.
So there's nothing that sets it based on, when it was brought in and the city was incorporated, it would be based historically on usage on that type of strip, unless it's something that's been approved by the planning commission. So we just have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. Like I'll be glad to look at the street he's having
That
problems.
goes back to what, 1969 ISCO when it was incorporated?
68.
68, okay. I saw just one. So, I think you go back that, back that far, especially you got these little, a lot of these narrow streets. Now, in new subdivisions, or whatever, if there are any, subdivision, that's pretty much a standard thing. But these old streets.
Well, like Church Street up here, above this church, it's a tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny, that's what I'm saying.
But it's a city road.
Right, but they're all different,
Yeah.
there's all different sizes of it. So, that's a help, you have to be chipped away a little bit at a time.
Right. Because we got into that a couple of years ago on the, where they were laying the fiber optic line. So it's usually wider than you think. Of what you're allowed to go over onto the property owner to maintain roads and that type of thing.
Okay, so it'll be a case-by-case basis. Okay. All right. I said, we'll just have to chip away at that rock a little bit at a time. I guess on case-by-case. All right, the one we have, number 8, city phones for Tessa and Lisa. Lloyd?
Yeah, me and Kathy's been talking about being able to contact Lisa and Tessa for them to be able to contact us. And they don't like using their own private phone, so I was wondering, do we have, does the city have fines that we, and the fines, I know we used to have fines that we give to department heads and stuff like that. Just for city use only.
Okay, there's 2 issues there. One is, when they took that job, they never said that they needed a phone. And they didn't have any problem with handing out business cards that had their personal phone numbers on them. And 2, if you give them a phone, who's to say they're only gonna use it for city business?
That's true.
The problem that we have is that I asked how to contact one of them, and I was told I had to go through email, that there wasn't a telephone number to contact them because they worked during the day, that I could email them and they would get back to me, and that same email is on their citation, which means that any citizen that wanted to call in calls here to City Hall and has no way to reach them to discuss anything. So Lloyd and I were talking about, I think that if they're going to go out and talk to property owners or leave notices and that type of thing, that everybody needs to be able to get in touch with them instead of having to go by email and they contact you 2 days later. Because I don't have a way to get in touch with them either.
Right, if they're city-issued phones, there's a record, you get phone records, so you'll know what numbers were called, what mission it was.
But my only problem is though is, I mean, I don't care. I think it's a good idea because I'm like you. If we need to get in touch with them, we need to get in touch with them. But if they're not able to answer their phone, their regular phones at work for city business, I mean, because I know they both have other jobs. I'm just trying to look at it, from both ways, because I do think it's a good idea. I mean, look how many times we call you, from down here at your other place of business, I mean, it's a lot.
They
You probably
have
need
to-
a
Well,
line.
if, what happens is if they ticket somebody or they give a notice that somebody's grass is too high or whatever, that person calls, well, they call in and the full-time people here are trying their best to handle it, but they really need to be handling that issue.
Yeah.
I've always thought that it wasn't fair for those calls to go into Teresa or the police department. I think they need to handle their calls. And if the same person, the other thing that I had is code enforcement is code enforcement, no matter who the officer is handling that position. If you publish that number on a citation and that particular person's not handling it, 6 months from now, that phone could transfer to the next enforcement agent. That's what I was thinking about.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the council?
It makes a lot of sense what Kathy just said. I mean, I know, I definitely relate to the frustration of trying to get a hold of somebody by email. And if these people are actually out doing enforcement for us, it's the same concept as this. It's going to pass on to whoever has it. Do we need to advertise to bids from the phone carriers?
No.
Or
This,
I say we just, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a smartphone. I mean, we don't have to get them a data package or anything. We can get them
this answer.
just a phone, a dumb phone, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
Is
That form of motion.
I'll make a motion that we buy them we provide a regular cell phone for, what are the two positions, the codes enforcement and?
Building inspector.
Okay, for the codes enforcement and the building inspector, just a standard cell phone with voice and text service. So, I mean, you're not gonna have all of that text service.
I see.
Discussion?
Do we have phones still left over?
I think we done away with it.
Right,
you have a phone?
We've got, we probably got 6 or 7 phones left back there on the door, the old flip phones.
But you don't have a plan.
No, they're old Verizon phones, which probably could be put back on, but they're just the old flip phones, that's all that's left.
That's all we need. I mean, it's just something for them to make phone calls with.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then we're good.
I think some of the other ones aren't coming in.
Going back to what Kathy was talking about, whether we communicate them to here, who do they communicate with, anything they don't? They give you all your reports and everything that they're taking care of, or?
They send out letters, we get the
Can
letter.
you-
Like you did a report on what they've been doing.
That's something I want to say.
I could just, other than contacting Kathy, I don't know. For questions, if they ever contact
No,
Who do they?
I've never
who do
talked
they
to
work?
Tessa, and right now, the board voted several months ago about some businesses on the 141. And that is no follow-up from a planning commission vote of October 2016. And when it came before this board and you all authorized me to enforce it and follow up on it, and it was addressed by the planning commission October 2016. This is the first time it's ever been asked about. So,
The
no,
141.
they don't contact me and I have nothing.
So we probably need to have an info sit down about communication with our city attorney too.
And just really give us a report of where they've gone to, because we're the one that's getting the call.
Can we have
We just like to know
Can we have them
what's going
come to the next
on.
meeting and kind of?
Well, it goes, we'll go back to Bobby.
Do they report?
You'd be acting city administrator.
No.
No.
No,
They give us emails.
Do they come to the planning
no. And I have asked both of them to come to every meeting, and I have seen both of them once in the last, ever since they've been hired.
I
Once.
think we should do a monthly report on them, just like we do the fire department and the street department and everybody else, because we got citizens who we get complaints from about the way things are being handled, but we have no idea who they've talked to or where they're at or what
Who's
time they're
handling
working.
anything, right?
And I would like to be able to have something where if I get a phone call that they've been here to talk to me about this, that I can read their report as to what they've reported on the individuals, whether it be commercial or residential, either one. And right now, they're out doing basically what they want to do. And I don't know about you all, but I've got 2 or 3 phone calls this week that I had no idea what they're doing. And, you know, whether it be right, wrong, or indifferent, I'd still like to be able to read their side of it as well as and hear the citizen's side of it to see what's going on. And I think they should be held accountable.
And who is their overseer? Who is their department head, for lack of a better term? Do they?
The council.
Just the council in general?
Council.
Well, I mean, like, same thing with like
You.
street.
Patrick's new job.
I finally get a report to read.
Yeah, Patrick's new job. No, I can, Tracy, can you get a hold of both of them and tell them we need a monthly report of their activities?
I've asked for that.
Well,
I've asked both of them for a monthly report, and I couldn't get anything.
well,
And actually, we didn't get anything at all until Laura started giving me copies of the permits.
okay, well.
And
said she-
and I've asked
We
numerous
can ask
times.
them for it.
Yeah, tell them we need, yes. Yeah, tell them we need a report, and if that don't do it, I'll call them myself, right?
Well, let's address our issue. I have something that was in front of the planning commission, October 2016, and now there's these things that are being requested and required, but I don't know if they even came to that October 2016 planning commission. If they did, it's not in the minutes, and the minutes are very good. So, you know, if somebody's going to appear in front of the planning commission, that there's going to be follow-up on they want, if it's a commercial place that needs engineer reports and that type of thing, then I think they need to appear in front of the planning commission when that citizen comes forward.
Okay.
You can't enforce something that if the citizen hasn't been made aware of what's expected of them in a given time.
Okay. Well, we can do that too. Questions be at the planning commission. Okay.
Let us know if they don't show up.
When is the next?
Do we need to vote?
We
The
need
next
to
planning
first
commission is April the
April
5th.
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 You get that to them before that meeting and we'll know next meeting.
Or well, if we show up for the planning commission meeting by the time we have our next.
That's correct. That is correct.
It's April 5th, the next one.
Yes.
Will they give a report to the planning commission and they forward on to us?
Yes.
That,
Yeah, because most of their activities does pertain to that, so. Okay, all right. Any other business come before the board?
What are we gonna do with the motion that?
Oh, I'm sorry, Patrick, I'm sorry. Okay, Patrick had a motion for phone, you second to issue, okay. On discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. All right, motion carried, I'm sorry. Okay, any further business come before the vote? Do I hear a motion be adjourned?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor say aye. All right, thank you.